Was Biden's ABC interview and his weekend of events reassuring enough for Democrats who are clearly growing more and more worried about not just his capacity to lead, but also his ability to take on Trump and win?
We have a lot more data points now than we did a day or two after the debate, yet we're still having the same discussion. There was a wave of polls that came out yesterday and today that show Biden is still in a very competitive heat with Donald Trump. And we've seen actually a lot more Democrats coalescing around the president than we have saying that he should step out of the race. I mean, there's 9 members of Congress out of 219. That's a fraction. California senior senator came out in favor of Joe Biden today. Maxine Waters, a big figure in California politics, came out in favor of Biden today. I think the base is with Joe Biden. I think there's been sort of a backlash to the backlash. And, where this debate is going to go on for a few more days. But, listen, there's 90 days left for the election. It's 60 in California because we vote by mail. It's almost impossible to put a campaign together in that short period of time.
I put it back to you, though, that it's almost impossible for Joe Biden to win. He has a 36% approval rating here. And as Stephanopoulos said in the ABC interview, no president has won re-election with a 36% approval rating.
Yeah, but he's running against Donald Trump, who's unpopular, far more unpopular than Joe Biden is. And Democrats will come together. They are. You can see it happening now. The fear of Donald Trump getting back into office is enough to coalesce this party. They said the same thing about Obama when he won the nomination. There still were like 30% of the voters who said they wanted another candidate. This happens all the time. But the threat is real. Every day we see it. Donald Trump hasn't even shown his face in 10 days. And, nobody's talking about that, and they should.
Also, I guess you could say Donald Trump doesn't have to show his face right now because staying silent for him is a winning position given the tumult that we see among the Democrats. Biden was also asked, whether or not he was being honest with himself, that he could, in fact, beat Donald Trump, not just because of his own ability at the moment, but also that approval rating. David Axelrod called it defiant delusion. Would you agree with that?
No, David Axelrod has never been a fan of Joe Biden. He's called for him to step down a lot earlier than over this past episode. So let's not go around one pundit who's been wrong about so many things. Let's look at the numbers. And the numbers are showing a very competitive race in all the key states. And Joe Biden has room to grow. And I think we're all going to be forgetting about this in a couple days. And you're right, Donald Trump hasn't done anything in the last 10 days because every time he opens his mouth, he gets into more trouble. And we're counting on that. We've got 3 more months of Donald Trump doing bad things, saying bad things, being convicted in more cases. It's not a rosy future for him.
Stephen, of course, a lot more to assess when we see President Joe Biden meeting with G20 leaders in Washington this week. He is scheduled to hold a news conference. It's going to be off teleprompter. He's likely to take questions from a hostile press. What does he need to prove at the G20 this week?
He needs to prove that he's been a strong president. He needs to talk about what he's accomplished. And particularly in that audience, he needs to show that America has reasserted itself to be a world leader, not being laughed at by European leaders the way Donald Trump has been. He needs to show that he's capable of doing the job. People have faith in him. They hope he can do this job. They think he can defeat Donald Trump. And he just needs to project himself as a strong leader that he is.